Hello. Sorry, I'll try not to talk too quietly, but Slade has just gone down for a nap. So I'm trying to do this quickly because I haven't updated in like 2 weeks, and that's a really long time. And yeah, I guess if anybody's like watching this that is maybe looking for some answers or looking for some comparison, like I probably was more heavily a few weeks ago, but now things have started to go well. So I haven't really been like looking as much. But yeah, so basically the last time I updated, sorry, I hope I'm not covering the mic. The last time I updated was the 2nd of June. 2nd of June? Yeah. And I was waiting. I'd had a blood test result that morning because my numbers had still been dropping really slow. Like I started miscarrying the week before that on the Wednesday, and my levels had only dropped like from 218 to 210 in like a week and a half. Which is like crazy because they kind of expect that once your miscarriage is like over, sorry, again, TMI and trigger warning, there's going to be like discussion or mentions of like gross blood and stuff like that. So obviously once you have stopped bleeding during a miscarriage, they kind of expect then that your levels will be dropping quite drastically. And I had stopped bleeding, but my levels just were not dropping. So the doctors were a little bit concerned because, like I said in the last vlog, I was like considered as like a pregnancy of unknown origin or unknown placement, pregnancy of unknown placement, just because by the time we had the ultrasound, I'd already been miscarrying for 24 hours and they couldn't see the sac, but they're just kind of assuming now that I'd probably just already lost it. Or like, I don't know, there's like a whole other side of that, but that doesn't really matter. So anyway, had the blood test on Wednesday the 2nd when I filmed my last update, and I started taking pregnancy tests. I think I took a pregnancy test on the Wednesday, and then I took one the next day on the Thursday while I was still waiting for my results, and it did look a little bit lighter, so I was like, I'm so hoping that this means that it is starting to drop. So when they called me on the Thursday, the midwife said like, okay, yep, so we've taken your blood, and between Monday and Wednesday it had dropped 11. I was at 199, so that was the most it had dropped in like one hit since I'd had the miscarriage. And it was like the biggest, most significant drop because between the Thursday and Monday I'd only dropped 4 numbers. So my HCG had dropped from 214 to 210, but then between Monday and Wednesday it dropped from 210 to 199. So we were like, okay, that's good, like it's a decent drop. Well, like not a decent drop, but it's more of a decent drop than what I've been having. That hopefully means that things are like going the right way and it's going to keep doing a big drop. So she was like, all right, here's the plan. She'd spoken to the OBGYN that's overseeing my case, and he was happy with how that was starting to look. So the plan was that then I would go in. So that was on Wednesday the 2nd. The following Tuesday, I would go in, which I think was like the 8th, I want to say. I would go in on the 8th, have another blood test. So it was like just under a week. And then that she would ring me on the Wednesday on the 9th with those results. And basically she said, if it hasn't dropped again significantly, then we're going to need to have an ultrasound. And I was like, okay, well, like what would we be thinking is significant? And she was like, well, the fact that you're saying that you're having no like miscarriage symptoms anymore. So I wasn't bleeding, I wasn't lactating, I wasn't really cramping anymore or anything either. She was like, I would assume now that it should be under 100 by in like a week's time. That's what we'd want to see. And she's like, if it's close to that, or it hasn't really dropped, then you'll have to come in and have an ultrasound, just so we can confirm that there's no like retained placenta or retained like products is what it's called, or anything like that that's like stopping your HCG from dropping, and also to make sure that it's definitely not ectopic, because this whole time with my levels dropping really slow, basically what they were concerned with is that it was an ectopic pregnancy, which I was really hoping it wasn't, because she said to me on the phone, we really don't want to give you the methotrexate, which is like a shot that they give you that's basically a chemo drug that kills all the folate in your system, and basically if the baby is growing somewhere where it shouldn't be, it like absorbs the baby, like kills it and absorbs it basically, to try and minimize obviously the chance of you losing one of your fallopian tubes, if that is where the baby is. So, and I was on board with that, because if you have the methotrexate shot, you cannot, you should not try to have another baby for at least 3 months, because like I said, it kills all the folate in your system. So obviously then there's been like a lot of children born with birth defects from mothers who received the methotrexate shot while pregnant because they thought it was an ectopic, or fell pregnant soon after having the methotrexate. So I really didn't want that, because obviously we do want to have another baby. I want Slater to have a sibling. I didn't want to have to put that all on hold and like not be able to try for 3 months. To me, that just sounded like the only thing more unbearable than a miscarriage is then also being told, and now you also can't try to have another baby. You know, you have to just stop now. So that was, so we were hoping and praying that my levels would drop. But I was saying today, and I felt really good about it. I took pregnancy tests for, so I had the blood test on the Wednesday, and then I think I took pregnancy tests like Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday as well. And they were consistently getting lighter, not drastically lighter, but they were getting lighter. And then so Tuesday, I went back in for the blood test, and I said to Dane, I feel good about it. Like, I feel like my levels are dropping a lot because all my symptoms are gone. Like, I feel good about this. And then so Wednesday, they called me. Sorry, my phone like had a pause. So Wednesday they called me with my results from Tuesday, and it had dropped from 199 to 99. So I was so happy. So a drop of 100, like the biggest drop ever. And she was like, this is awesome. This is so good. This means that it's going the way we need it to. So now we just need to track it to 0. But you're totally fine to go ahead and start like prepping your body ready to try and have another baby, which was so exciting. So I've got another blood test. Today's Monday. It's the Queen's birthday today, public holiday. But tomorrow on Tuesday, I'm going to go for another blood test that I'm hoping will be my last blood test for this miscarriage, because I'm hoping my levels will be low. But I'll insert after this clip so some pictures of they were like my tests that I've been taking, obviously taking pregnancy tests to track and see if they're getting lighter every day. That obviously means my HCG is going down, which is sad, but what I want. And as you can see, the last 3 days are getting lighter and lighter and lighter, and today's one you could like barely see. So I'm really hoping that means my levels are like around 20, if not less than that, which means that my body will be getting ready to hopefully ovulate soon. So I started taking last week the daily aspirin, the low dose aspirin, to help. One of the gynecologists, the doctor, told me that, you know, some studies have shown that women who start taking low dose aspirin from before they conceive with a pregnancy after a miscarriage have high chances of falling pregnant, and also have high chances of carrying the baby through the first trimester, like successfully carrying the baby basically. And because I also have the history of preeclampsia in my pregnancy with Slater, it's kind of just like a no-brainer at this point. We were tossing up whether I should do it in this pregnancy that I've lost just for the preeclampsia, and we were kind of like, oh, we'll see how we go. But now that this miscarriage has also happened, the doctor was kind of like, I think it's just going to be like a good idea if you just start taking it. It can't hurt. All it can do is help. So I started taking low dose aspirin every day. I've still been taking my pregnancy vitamins the whole time, like my prenatals, to make sure that all my levels stay good. I've also been like checking my blood pressure, and I'm tracking my basal body temperature every day so that I can see when I do ovulate, because there's kind of mixed reviews. Some people said, oh, your levels have to get back to 0 before you'll ovulate. Others have said, no, you can ovulate when it's low. Still, like when you still have a small amount of HCG in your system, you can still ovulate, because obviously some women have to have HCG trigger shots to make them ovulate. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, that's where we're at. So it's actually been pretty positive the last couple of weeks, as positive as it can be when you're having a miscarriage. But I'm feeling good. I feel like myself again, like my body feels like myself again, which is good. I'm just trying to really focus on all the positive things and be really happy and joyous. And like I said, I'm being still really open about the whole experience with people, which has been, I found really good to be able to just be open about it and not be ashamed of it. But yeah, so far the news has all been really good. I want to show you guys, I'm wearing my Unpro Pro merch shirt today. So it's the pre-sale of that is going live this afternoon. Probably when you guys are watching this, it's live. So you can go to my husband's podcast page and order it. But yeah, so it's pretty good news. So I think from here, I don't know that I'll do another update with this. I might just do like a TTC update. The plan is to continue to film my trying to conceive journey now, as we move forward, trying to conceive after a miscarriage. I would also like to make another video. This one's pretty long already, but I would like to make another video at some point, just talking about, I guess, discussions Dane and I have had about what would happen if we have another miscarriage, what the plan is, when I do fall pregnant, like monitoring it if I hopefully fall pregnant, and all that sort of stuff. But I'll do that in a separate video. But for now, the news is good. My levels are going back where they should be, and we can start trying to have a baby. Hopefully one that gets to stay with us very soon. So, fingers crossed. Bye.